Talk about that, and I'm sure this has been a concern amongst the 12,000 member body, the organization that you all aspire to be the presidents and represent, the matter of structural integrity. I begin with you, Engineer Grace Kagondu. How can this be fixed? How will your presidency, in the event you clinch this seat, be fixed?
Thank you. The matter of structural integrity can be connected to, I know the question is talking about the menace of collapsing buildings, which we have witnessed over the last quite a number of years. And the reason we are seeing this kind of collapsing buildings is simply one. The public is not, and some of these developers of these buildings are not making use of the resources in the engineers. The engineer, the professional engineer, the graduate engineer, they have the skills and the training to be able to at least give the proper guidance in how the building should be designed and how it should be constructed. So that is the menace that is happening in the country. We have witnessed even buildings collapsing because the developer, not because of lacking funds, but choosing not to employ qualified engineers. Or sometimes simply the ignorance. They do not know where to find the qualified engineer. So I am going to make it a policy, and I'm going to make it a point to enhanced engagement with the public, to educate the public. And already I have initiated this initiative. Over the last 2 weeks, or 2 weeks ago, I did initiate a campaign of Ongea Handisi Halisi, so that the public can be educated on how to tell who is a properly qualified engineer and who is not. Because we see a lot of, we can call them quacks, or let me say unqualified persons purporting to be offering engineering advice. And that has become a very big risk. And that, I think, is because the awareness of what the value of the engineer is bringing on board is not appreciated. So I'll be running campaigns through your platform, the media platforms, through through the print media, through the TV media, the radio media, to enhance the civic education. And as your next president, I will ensure that there is not a single Kenyan who is left outside of that bracket of awareness, that there is somebody called an engineer, and the engineer is there to serve them, and the engineer is to make sure that their developments are safeguarded, because engineering is all about safety and ensuring that protecting the investment of the developer. So as the next president, I will ensure that that word goes out and we minimize the issue of of collapsing buildings. I will also collaborate very closely with our regulator, because he's the regulator of engineering practice. I will cooperate very closely with the other agencies, because this kind of menace requires a multidisciplinary approach. So I will leverage on my experience in the sector and my good relations, my diplomatic skills that I have developed over the years, to lead into, to have engagement with the various stakeholders, so that we find a lasting solution to the matter of collapsing buildings. In addition to capacity building of upcoming engineers, I'm a structural engineer myself, and I am aware that to become a good structural engineer, you need continuous capacity building to continuously enhance your skill in line with let me say, in line with the, let's say, the local environment that the engineer is operating in.
Let's put face to this, Engineer Grace Kagondu, because that seems to be a matter which is a thorn in the flesh of the umbrella body. In that regard, then, one of the agencies is the National Construction Authority, NCA. And in one of its audit reports, highlighted more than 200 Kenyans, and because the people are very key in this debate, were killed between 1990 and 2019. This has seen also the economy lost 2.4 billion Kenya shillings, and some of the citations done in that report includes poor workmanship and substandard materials that are put into these buildings. There is a growing demand, however. How can that be fixed, this specific question? Because this seems to be a problem that is perpetuating.
Let me say that the industry today has been ill-treated by substandard material. You will find steel that is not the right standard in the market. You will find cement that is not of the right quality in the market. Now, if in the absence of the engineer, it becomes very difficult for a developer to be able to identify which are the fake materials and which are the properly certified materials. And that is why the emphasis becomes employing qualified professionals to guide the construction. Number one, to guide the design of the structures. Number two, to oversight the construction. And by the way, you find that many developers will engage an engineer or a qualified engineer to undertake the design, but midway, that engineer can as well be dismissed when it comes to the supervision, because now the approvals have been gotten from the local authorities. So the idea is use the engineer to get the approvals and then shut them off and proceed your construction without that kind of supervision. And that is where the gap has been. Okay. But when a qualified engineer is retained on site from the beginning to the end, that building will stand sound. And from IEK, from where I stand, we have a register of qualified engineers who are available to support the public with their needs. We have very many qualified structural engineers who are always ready and available. And the only thing is, I want to make the IEK the platform where the public can know where to source this engineering.